Hi guys, it's Beck from Beck Star Coaching, and I'm doing my 30 videos in 30 days thingy. I'm up to day 13, and each time I do these videos, I want to bring you something that you're going to get a lot out of. And I hope you've been doing that over the last 13 videos. Today, I wanted to just bring something to your attention, I guess, to, help you think straight away about what's going on around you and kind of the thoughts that you're having and conversations that are happening around you and how you can be part of something or let something go or basically take a stand and kind of, say no, that's not okay. And that's kind of about commenting on women's bodies. It's very, very common that women's bodies get commented on all the time. It's just, unfortunately, it's something that has gone on for a long, long time, that people feel the need to comment and make judgments on women's bodies. And that can be something that is quite subtle, but something also quite obvious that we're part of in everyday conversations. You probably can recognize it in your own life with conversations with colleagues or friends or family, where you might be watching something on television or flicking through a magazine, and the magazines are their own thing. I mean, the media has got their own, there's a lot of issues going on with the media commenting on people's bodies, that's for sure. But as for yourself, kind of looking at images of people, particularly women, and making comments like, oh wow, she's put on weight, or oh, she's looking old, or why is she wearing that? Look at her boobs are hanging out, or she shouldn't be wearing that, it's too much cellulite, and the stretch marks, you can see them and all that sort of thing. It happens a lot more than you think. And one of the things I've been a part of is kind of, how do I put it? So being in my body, I'm not in a big body. So I haven't been subjected to the same sort of discrimination, the same sort of comments and overt criticisms that a lot of bigger people have been subjected to in their lifetime. And those sort of things are what we call kind of fat shaming. So, shaming someone or criticizing them because of their size and because they're big. So you'll see a lot of that in the media as well. People being criticized for being big, or people criticized for fat shaming others. So whilst I haven't experienced that personally, I've obviously been around a lot of people who have experienced that. And not only that, unfortunately, I was in a relationship for a long time with someone who was extremely critical of fat people. And whilst it was very uncomfortable for me to be around those conversations, I guess I didn't feel strong enough to be able to say something at that time. I kind of went along with it, and I didn't like it, but I also didn't stand up for that and say, that's not okay to say those things. And I'm a lot better now, and I don't take part in those conversations at all anymore. But you can't become complicit in a way when you see something and you don't stand up for that. So as I'm saying, I was a part of that conversation because this person was quite critical of fat people and making really derogatory comments about them. I guess because when we see, unfortunately, I think in a couple of other videos I've talked about the comparisons and judgments, I guess, that we have around people and their bodies. So the judgment, the common misconception is that we have value placed on how we look. So the common misconception is that if you're fat, then you're all these sort of things. You're lazy, you're unmotivated, you're not dedicated, you're slack, you're, all those sort of really negative values. And on the other hand, when we see people who are lean or thin or skinny or any of those sort of things, we associate positive traits towards them. So positive things like, wow, they're dedicated, they're committed, they're successful, they're healthy, they must be really good at X, Y, Z. And so when we make these judgments, it's very unconscious. It's something that is instilled in us, unfortunately. So it's very, very hard to A, be aware of them, and B, to stop them. But the way to do that is by being aware, things like this, and once you're aware, then being able to help those thoughts in your own head, but also be part of conversations when people are making those judgments and those comments. And I guess it is really hard to stand up and say, and say things when people say that sort of stuff, because it is so ingrained. It happens very automatically. It's instinctive for some people to make comments. And not only that, kind of comments, there can also be negative comments around people with lean bodies too. So people might make comments like, oh, look at her abs, what a bitch, or she's got fake boobs, you shouldn't be putting those boobs out there, or that skirt's way too short, what a slut. Don't get me started on all that sort of stuff. That's a whole nother video in itself. But it's essentially the same thing. One of the other comments that I've heard this week is someone kind of saying to me, you know, they were talking about where to put a tattoo on their body. And she said that she was talking about this with a friend or group of friends and colleagues, and they kind of came at her with all these judgments about why she shouldn't have it in the place that she wanted to have it, and it's unfeminine and people don't like that. And you know what, it's just like, just stop commenting on women's bodies. There's no need to comment. You know what, it's her body, her choice. Your body, your choice. Their body, their choice. It's not anything about you. Who cares? And that's the biggest message I think I wanted to bring to you throughout this whole video, is we need to take the conversation away from people's bodies and what they look like, because there's way more important things to talk about anyway. And those sort of conversations can be very damaging, very critical. It just builds up this whole really negative cycle of fat shaming and negativity, and it's no good for women, it's no good for anybody. It just brings everybody down, and there's no point anyway. And I wanted to hopefully shed some light on that for you, so you can A, see when it's happening and not be part of it, or B, recognize when it's happening in your own head. And I think you'd find that quite helpful, because you're going to notice that it happens a lot. Yeah, so if you've experienced any kind of fat shaming, I'd love to hear from you. If you've kind of seen that happen, you know, comment below, share that with me. And if you have any tips on how to stop that in your own life, or you've helped other people with that, awesome, let's hear about it. That's it for my video today. I hope you've enjoyed it and got something out of it, and I shall see you tomorrow for my day 14 video, and have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Bye.